Doctor Who doesn't change just to survive. It survives because of change. In November 1963, the journey began with William Hartnell. His tenure was very much about the show finding its feet. It had plenty of historical adventures in there, along with sci-fi focused ones. Before long, this show underwent changes. His companions and even the show's producers had moved on. By the end of the era, the show was much different than what was first planned. Ill health forced the show's writers and producers to make a change, which saw an ailing Hartnell replaced by Patrick Troughton. This man is proof why the show has survived so many changes. The Doctor and their ever-changing appearances and personalities are a facet of what makes Doctor Who successful, and a lot of it is owed to this guy here. In Troughton's era, the show underwent more changes, veering away from the historical tales and sticking to more base under siege stories, with monsters being the main threat. Eventually, a tiring schedule for actors, along with failing viewing figures, led to Troughton's departure and the end of the black and white era. The 1970s came around and ensured another new beginning. Doctor Who was in colour, it became Earthbound, and Jon Pertwee became the Doctor. He lasted for 5 seasons and the show reached new heights, not seen arguably since the early 60s with the Daleks, which were the most iconic foe that the Doctor had ever faced. This trend continued when the production changed and Tom Baker became the face of the programme in the mid-70s. His 7-year tenure saw so many monsters, new friends, and a few changes in producers. By 1980, bold changes were made. Doctor Who had new music, Tom Baker had moved on, and he was replaced by a fresh-faced Peter Davison. His era would become more focused on continuity by bringing back familiar elements from previous eras, along with a new schedule which saw the show move from Saturday evenings and now broadcast twice during the week. But Doctor Who belongs to Saturdays. It did return to Saturdays once Colin Baker got the TARDIS keys, but episodes became longer, resulting in strange pacing of a few of his adventures. After some poor ratings, Doctor Who ended up returning to weeknights with Sylvester McCoy's Doctor, but this proved disastrous and led to the end of the classic series. A revival was attempted in 1996 with Paul McGann in the Christmas movie. Why is it Christmas movie, you ask? Well, it's set on New Year's Eve 1999. Say no more. It was meant to be a backdoor pilot to a new series. Sadly though, this never took off. Luckily we have Big Finish who provided further adventures for the 8th Doctor on audio. After years of nothing, boom. 2005 saw the comeback of all comebacks. Christopher Eccleston starred as the 9th Doctor, and what an introduction this truly was for a new generation. New ways of storytelling and a new episode format led to Doctor Who becoming the subject of many households in the years to come. Popularity catapulted with David Tennant's incarnation. More enthralling stories ensured that Doctor Who was now at the forefront of BBC programming, arguably for the first time since the Tom Baker years. In the 2010s, a change in showrunner and another actor proved that the winds of change was still a thing for Doctor Who. The show felt like it was reborn again with the youthful Matt Smith, yet by the end of his time, homages to the past were made as Doctor Who reached its half-century. The 11th Doctor's regeneration to the 12th ensured that Doctor Who would begin again with Peter Capaldi. However, after 3 eventful years, the show underwent what would be the biggest change to date, with the first female lead in Jodie Whittaker. Her era's beginning felt like Doctor Who was brand new yet again, sparing us of any monsters from the past or any storylines from previous eras. The show eventually went back to previous monsters. It continued to go in new directions, albeit controversial to many. But then the twist of the century occurs. Faces from the past return. Old scores are settled, which culminated in the 60th anniversary, giving us the passing of the torch moment from the familiar David Tennant to the new Doctor, Ncuti Gatwa. After 60 years of many beginnings, Doctor Who begins again. The rules are reset. We are now at season 1, ready to introduce another new audience to Ncuti's incarnation. As always, there will be highs, there will be lows, But with the show in safe hands, Doctor Who begins again. Doctor Who will always survive.